We were just tiny. Hello, and welcome to Gamer's Guide to the Galaxy, the show about all things gaming, and where you can participate in the chat right over here.
It's over there, we swear.
Yep.
That way.
It's yeah, it's right here. Oh, it's right here. Yeah.
I zoomed in on us a little more today.
I noticed.
I feel like we should
right
take up more of the
here.
screen.
Here. Right here. It starts here, goes all the way down below, the camera. Yeah, that's the chat. So, talk in it. It's great. It's great. So what topics do we have today?
Well, first we probably say our names.
Oh,
For those new viewers,
Yeah, all the new viewers. I'm Chris.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Adam.
What are we talking about today?
Well, our first topic for discussions today is, should old systems still be supported?
Now, new year, new me, of course, but a lot of the games still, I know, and it's got that new Jacob smell.
I know!
It's great.
It's got that new baby smell, but better.
Because bacon. Anyway, it's just 20 years of regretting bacon. That's all it is. All that smell is. So anyways, pretty much some of the games that are released out are being dumbed down because of old systems limitations.
Yes, and
additionally, some games are being released on old systems only, some games are being on new systems only. It's kind of a hodgepodge hybrid mess right now.
There's always games being released on new systems, so that's not new.
That's not new, but the way they release them on the old systems, are they're, like you said, dumbing them down, making them worse graphics and everything, just so they can work on old system.
Not only Unity, but
not only Unity. I mean, Unity's one of the newer ones to do it.
Yeah, but anything pre-Destiny, I think, that was released has that dumbed down feature.
And it kind of makes sense right when the system's released, because
absolutely,
developers still want their game to be bought, and they don't want to just limit it to the people who happen to be able to buy the new systems. But now they've been out for over a year. A lot more people are starting to get them. Their sales have kind of plateaued and even dropped off a little. It's
additionally,
I don't know. I've been to. I was at a GameStop the other day, and the libraries are still pretty narrow.
Yes, they are. But going forward, if you release only things on the new system, it'll push more people to buy that system.
True.
It'll put more money in that ecosystem. I hate to use that word because I don't have a better word at the top of my head to use it. You know what I mean? It'll put more in the economy of that product.
Yeah.
The ecosystem. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
I meant the word economy, but
what he's saying is, like when Titanfall was released, they released it for 360 and Xbox One. Really, they should have almost released it just for Xbox One to try and boost Xbox One sales.
Definitely get more people to the new system, so that they can continue to keep only Xbox One products out.
And then Halo Master Chief Collection is a natural predator to Titanfall, so
But
in that ecosystem, I mean.
Yeah, in that ecosystem, it actually physically eats the sales and becomes stronger because there can only be one.
Yep.
Because
Anyways,
there could be only one Highlander.
So, I think we're all pretty much in agreement that older systems should probably start fading out of support.
Yeah.
Just because, one, it gives all the kids an excuse to bug their parents about getting them a new system, because we all know that people are like, oh no, you just got that a year ago when it's been like 8 years. We all had that argument. We're like, no, I've had this since I was 2, Mom. 2. This is 28.
And it's not a Nintendo. It's not a Nintendo. We haven't had a Nintendo in years.
But there's that, and then also it makes it so that way you can use the most bleeding edge technology without having to have an afterthought of, do we have to dumb this down? Do we have to do this? Do we have to do that?
Do we have to put unnecessary load times in? Do we have to make it, not instead of all open world, making it a smaller section so that, it can render that
distance. Yeah. And kind of still keep the last gen limitations on the current gen console for no real reason. Another big thing though with that is it kind of does shut out a lot of people that enjoy their older products like 360 and PS3. But I figure if you still run those older systems, you have kind of a backlog of games that you can go through. because there's a lot of good games. Like, for example, if you have a PS3 and you do not have the God of War collection, you're doing it wrong.
It's over there.
I know you have it.
That wasn't a criticism. He was making a general statement.
Yeah, like there's a lot of really good games out there still for those older systems that are fantastic.
And both Microsoft and Sony are still doing, you know, if you have Xbox Live Gold, they release games on 360 and for Xbox One for free every month. PlayStation, same thing. There's different games for the PS3 and the PS4 every month. So there's still that.
And, I mean, if you want to stay with your old systems, you should. But the game should start weaning off support. Because just like any operating system changeover that we see ever, it's people are latching on to their older stuff because it's what they know and not moving on ever. I think gamers are a little bit more adaptive to the new situations because we want our new hardware. But there's a lot of people out there that just be like, my 360 is still good. I want to pay $500 for the new system.
There's a lot of people that do that with computers.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, God.
They have a computer that's 10,
years old.
15 years old.
20 years old.
They're still using it because Windows XP is still a good operating system.
Their computer still takes up an entire airport hangar. The tubes haven't overheated too much yet.
We've had some 6 times. But yeah, it's kind of that same mentality of keeping stuff that, you know, the devil you know is worse than the devil you don't.
Yeah.
That kind of argument comes into play.
Right.
It's just, you know, what that argument is.
Yeah.
And I think if they kind of just cut a little bit more dryly, be like, hey, no, we kind of have to start pushing this out now. You know what I mean? If PS4 stops releasing PS3 titles, then people are going to have to start switching over. Which would be fantastic because a lot of these things, like, for example, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which you and I thoroughly enjoyed on PC, which I still probably will play on the PC, as well as on the new Xbox One that's going to be released, with Borderlands 2 is getting released on the Xbox One as well. So,
and Borderlands pre-sequel was like one of those ones where they started working on it before the systems were going to come out, so they didn't even bother.
yeah, and, I understand why they did it.
There's no point because it was just going to be a dumbed down Xbox One game or it was going to be a great 360 game.
Yeah.
Either or. No point trying to release it for the new system when it's just going to look the same as it does in the old system.
Yeah. But they are, because one, popular demand, and two, it's better for people who have the newer systems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not even that it's going to be a better looking game, it's just going to be a game that you can play on this. Because it looks fantastic regardless.
Yeah.
But I think that we're all in congruence to the, you know, older systems should start getting a little bit less support, especially where all game creation's made. I mean, there is an argument to be said, though, about, you know what I mean, kind of kicking all these users out to the curb.
Well, the number of users that it is like that are kind of weaning off. Because, like I said, these things have been selling, I'm pointing at the systems if people didn't know they're down there. These things have been selling millions of units each month.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, while the sales were kind of like, you know, skyrocketing, you know, they've kind of plateaued and they're dropping off a little, which means most people are actually getting these already. Or have them.
Yeah, it looks like or
so it's kind of ridiculous to keep putting games out for the 360 and the PS3 if most of your clientele already has the new systems anyways.
Of course, I've been on the other side of the argument. You know,
Yes.
The side of people don't have the money to get a new system.
This is true. And they have dropped the prices on the systems.
Even still, though, it is still a major investment.
It is still a major investment, yes.
And, you know, they might not, I'm sure Chris has had this place, and I've had this place as well, where, you know, saving up as a kid. You know, where it's like, oh, well, I'm not going to buy you the new system. You're like, oh, crap, it's going to take forever. And, you know, you're trying to still play video games. But on the same side, if you're spending all your money buying the older games, you'll never have the money for the new system.
I actually wrote a letter to Sega asking them to keep making games for Sega Genesis because I couldn't afford to upgrade to the Sega Saturn, which I shouldn't have anyway, so that was fine.
Yeah,
that's good. I never did.
You made a great decision there.
Yes, although it wasn't a decision I really had a choice on.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was the right one.
The funny thing is, Sega actually did respond.
Didn't they?
With a no, but
with a no.
But they responded.
It's like big letter.
I was like
big letter. No.
I was like 8 or 9.
You open the letter and it's just 90% of the page. No, and then at the bottom, Signed Sega Corporation.
No, I mean it was very polite and everything.
Oh, okay.
Look, I was just, at the time, I didn't think about it, but now I think about it, I'm going, that's actually impressive that they responded to an 8 or 9 or however old I was.
Yeah.
Year old who wrote to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because they probably get a lot of mail. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially when Sega Saturn had, they probably got a lot of email.
Right. And this is the time before email was really big, so they were getting a lot more mail probably.
Yeah, those times.
Those times.
Before internet. So like, what was that? VCI?
Yeah.
Before internet.
Well, internet existed. It just wasn't
available.
It's not the internet that we know.
Right. Yeah.
Like the world existed before, in BCE, but it wasn't the world we know.
Well, nothing existed before 1970 though.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Completely 100% accurate. We started on the year 1970.
I'm just gonna let the joke go.
Oh, no, I got the joke.
I know you get the joke, but I'm letting it go. I'm letting people figure that out for themselves.
So I think though that it's time. The system's been out for a little bit. It's starting to suffer. The games are starting to suffer. Not just sales of games, but the games themselves are being made worse. And I think that's one of the major reasons is because they still have those physical limitations. Whereas we're all expecting these mind-blowing new games where they're showing off at E3 where they can do like 80 bajillion particles falling from the sky at once onto a character and having them all realistically fall off.
Yeah.
And still being able to do an action scene on top of that.
And really, it's like, hey, it's shiny.
Yeah.
They reveal the Xbox One and they're just like, yay, shiny. It will shine things. Shiny.
I don't know. It looks a little dusty from here.
Shiny.
No, see gloss.
Shiny.
There's gloss on the one side, but there's dust on the other side. I don't know.
Well, that's just Adam. He doesn't take care of these things.
Yeah.
I think I take care of it pretty
I
well.
don't. Dust on it. There's no dust on mine. My dating.
You said that with like alcohol pads just.
No. Q-tip dipped in 99% perfect alcohol.
Okay, we're going off topic now.
Jacob spends $1,200 cleaning his Xbox One every day.
That's how you're supposed to take care of a system.
Oh, okay.
Or a computer.
Okay.
Or more importantly, a controller that you've had since birth. Well, not birth, but
Controller you've had since birth.
I came out with it. I was like,
I was going to say, GameCube controllers didn't exist
I know.
then.
I'm gonna say I've played many controllers to the point where they were just destroyed. I've played a Super Nintendo controller to the point where it was no longer attached anymore.
I don't know if they were Nintendo 64. But the GameCube controller has held up very well.
Yes.
As you can, by our nonchalant transfer here, our next topic is about a very specific piece of hardware that is very hard to obtain right now, which is the GameCube adapter for Wii U.
We'll call it unobtainium.
No, we won't.
Okay.
It is worth Adam's weight in gold.
It is, and I am not a light person. No GameCube adapter.
So
That's a box.
Well, you really want me to?
I knew I could get him to do that. I knew I would get him to do that.
The GameCube
We should
adapter.
probably actually do it though, because we can talk about it a little bit easier this way.
Yeah.
So this piece of plastic,
Oh, is it dusty already?
yeah, it is
Well, it's been down there.
next to his unkept Xbox.
Yes.
Yes.
So anyways, this piece of plastic right now is sold out everywhere. Me and Adam both had the opportunity to get one before they sold out, back out again from Best Buy. We both did not even get a shot of a glimpse of a hope of a chance at getting the ones from Nintendo that sold out in 10 minutes
Yeah, they were
after being
gone.
restocked.
I was given misinformation when I inquired about it. I was told they'd only be sold with the Smash Bros. Bundle, which almost made me die a little inside. But apparently you can get it by itself.
I did a really sneaky thing and got it by ordering it from a SKU number through a OMS interface from Best Buy without saying the name of it, because otherwise they would shut me down.
What?
Yeah, if you say the name of it, they were instructed to tell you no, because they can't sell them.
Oh.
But I used the SKU number, so that way the SKU would pop up, not the name. And then they would just see it as any other order and then go through with it. And by the time they got the receipt out to me and saw the name of the product, it was too late and the thing already went through. So I got the product.
So if you want one, that's what you do.
It's actually on the internet how to get those. So,
Yes.
but I'm pretty sure the warehouses are sold out again.
Sold out again, but they are going to be mass producing these and pushing these out.
So this is the counter argument to our just last topic of why things should not be supported. Is this is something that we've been asking for. It's for support for an older product, which is this controller. This is a GameCube controller from what, 2000?
No, this is actually
I understand. I'm saying the controller itself.
Yeah,
That's knockoff.
the GameCube controller. That is a knockoff because they stopped making them for the longest time, and that was the only one you could buy. It was as a knockoff.
Yes, but these
It's
were
really good looking knockoff.
I know.
It's
It
very
is.
well
The only problem is the grip on the thumb,
Yeah.
on the left thumbstick. That's it.
Looks like its center point is off too.
It's not actually.
It looks
No,
like
it is.
No, it is.
Totally
Yeah,
is.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll fix it.
Well,
No, oh, there it goes.
I was playing
Fix it.
Smash.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyways, so these controllers, pretty much the only purpose of these controllers have anymore in the world is to play Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
It's a controller. The reason why is because professionally, and in all the competitions, and for most people who play Smash very hard like we do,
Yeah.
it's the only controller that we know with movesets.
It's the official controller of Super Smash Brothers.
It's the only controller I can switch easily between A, B, and the C stick to do all the moves.
Exactly. So, not having this is a detriment to our play. This thing
You
over
can
here,
use the Wiimote.
through the most complicated
controller?
system,
No, the Wiimote.
the Wiimote.
Oh,
so,
the Wiimote? Oh,
for some reason, it does require 2 USBs.
one's probably for power, one's probably for transfer.
Yeah, but it's just absurd. They could just I would be happy with an AC adapter. And pretty much, you can actually see through the product. That's how little there is.
Yeah, it's really nothing.
It's just pretty much a bunch of wires hooked up.
It literally is
See
just
through it?
connections.
Oh, wait, my mistake. It's bronze. Never mind.
You can see through it?
No,
It
no.
looks like you can, but it's
No,
bronze.
you can.
Oh, okay.
Look, can you make it?
No,
No,
it's
it's
bronze.
bronze.
Oh, okay, that's the light, okay.
Anyways,
Or copper, or one of those.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's basically just,
It's definitely
connections
not gold.
there, and then wires to this. That's really it.
So pretty much a third grader can build this. Is what we're trying to explain.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Maybe a third grader should have built this.
probably.
Third graders probably did build it,
It would have
guys.
been out soon. Well, yeah. There's that.
But what we're trying to say is, this is the type of thing that
None of us do that.
if you're going to update a
you know.
system and have a very loved title that has very specific things, you should probably include them. Like, for example, the Xbox One, day one, did not have the keypad support. You couldn't plug one in like you used to be able to.
Nope.
Which, for everyone who ever has messaged anybody on Xbox ever, they hate
Okay,
you.
can we just say this, that the Xbox One has the most annoying hookup ever for its stuff?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Does it?
It's on the bottom of the controller, and it's a special port that only Xbox has.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. PS4 is
One of those.
almost as annoying. It's,
Micro USB/B.
no, it's not PS4 controller.
I don't.
We're getting up a lot.
I don't know,
Oh, there it is. It's,
You're moving.
that.
Oh, it's another specialized
You
port.
should probably hold it up to the.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
That.
god. Oh god.
You missed it entirely.
Yeah, you
it's
didn't,
okay.
you didn't even get it.
Really?
You
Yeah.
failed.
That.
There
There
you
you go. So, those are being specialized controller ports. It's kind of hard to find.
Yes,
somebody
that
supports
one
those.
actually can be, if you can find a headphone jack that will fit that, then it'll work still.
Well, that's for a headphone.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual text pad, like the thing that looks like T9 texting pads from way back in the day.
Oh yeah, I hate those things.
So,
I just rather use a keyboard.
but yeah, me
Or
too.
worse.
But there's some people that got really good at it and they need it. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to update your entire system, make sure you do still have some support for older stuff like this. This is how you can keep older people, people who want those older systems, still intrigued. Because this, I have my controller, like I was saying, since I got my GameCube. Which, how long ago was that? When was GameCube released? 2000?
Something like that.
So 15 years. You know what I mean? I've had that one controller.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable that thing's lasted that long. It's also been rebuilt twice, but I digress. So I think that's the better way to approach support for old systems than, you know what I mean?
I mean,
keeping back gameplay.
well, and think about this. This is literally Nintendo is making these again.
Yeah, thank God.
Nintendo, you can actually go out and buy a Nintendo GameCube controller again, which I might have to do.
Do they work with GameCube?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because it's the exact same plug.
Just because it's the same plug doesn't mean it's compatible.
But yes,
Come on. They make, and they're selling it for one game. It's the new Smash Brothers.
Yep.
And
they actually have the Smash logo right on it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I want one for just the fact that it has the Smash logo.
That is how you make a successful franchise. You make a game that is so popular and has to be played with your controller.
Yeah.
That is what you do. You have to get those two, and then you have a franchise that will live forever.
Pretty much.
You can put a game out once every 10 years. People will run out and buy it.
That's what they do.
They do
I
put
know.
a game out every 10 years.
I know. Well, we'll call it 5.
Well, actually, to me, its average length is 7.
7.
Yeah.
Because 10 and 5.
What was the distance between the first one and Melee?
Well, the first one came out shortly after, if not with, the release of N64.
Yeah, it was
And-
after. It wasn't with it.
So that was, but it was still,
It was close.
it was still late 90s.
I would say mid-90s.
Melee came out.
Whatever.
Melee came
90s.
Melee came out close to the release of the GameCube, didn't it?
Melee,
1 to 2
Melee
years
was
after.
a release. Melee was a release title.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
It was? Okay.
That I am certain of.
Okay,
And
so
Brawl was what?
Brawl was also a release title.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't released. It was a year after.
no, it wasn't.
Release
It was.
title.
It was
It
not
was
released.
it was not a release title.
I know.
I got a Wii U. I got a Wii on release date, and the only
Same.
games it had was
Um,
Zelda,
Though
Red,
the sports game,
the sports game Red
Well, it wasn't a year after.
something. What was it?
Red Dead Redemption.
No, Red Dead Redemption was a good game. This was not.
I
Red
don't know.
Steel.
Doesn't matter.
But anyways, and then
Well, it wasn't a release. It may not. If it wasn't
It
a
was-
release title, it was shortly thereafter.
It was
about a year.
It was about a year.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Because they
No.
they hyped that on their website for a whole year,
No.
releasing one new information every
No.
Wednesday.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We're looking it up.
I see that you're looking it up.
But I was gonna tell the viewers how we're looking it up because
I know.
these are Smash facts. We need to go Smash facts correct, people.
This is true. Well, I know for a fact that Melee was a release title. So
Yeah, Melee definitely was.
Smash Bros. Brawl was released.
And all those days apparently.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm looking for the.
all sorts of times.
I'm trying to figure out which one's the American release.
Yeah. But and then so that was 2008 though.
2008.
Regardless.
Yeah.
When was the Wii released?
Anyways, so and now it's 2015, late quarter 2014, early 2015. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pretty
So
much same. So that's an average of 7 years right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I can guarantee you it's 7 years before
Yeah.
Brawl from Melee, at least.
The Wii was
Yeah,
released
probably.
at the end of 2006.
really?
Yes.
So, told
Wow.
you, one
Smash-
full year.
Okay.
Over a year, actually, because it was released
I
at the
was
beginning
wrong.
of 2008.
Yeah, but it's again it's
roughly a
iffy.
year.
I admit I was wrong.
The only reason why I know that though is because every Wednesday they released a little bit of a teaser
Oh, okay.
on their website,
You know-
and I sat there every Wednesday to watch.
You know how I know that? Because I got a Wii on release date, and
Yeah.
if Brawl came out as a release title, I would have got Brawl.
Yeah.
I never got Brawl because it came out so much later.
Okay. That's fair.
But anyways, it was again 7 years in interlude
It's okay.
to
It wasn't
this
that great of a game anyway.
whole franchise, and still to this day, the GameCube Adapter for the better part of 15 years now at this point, because you do an average of 7, almost 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been held strong, and the only way really to play Smash. Have you ever tried to go back to that N64 version?
No, because I've only played the N64 version once.
It is so hard. Like the control, you're like, where's my C stick? C stick. Where's my analog? Where's my buttons?
I never really got dependent on the C stick though.
I did.
So
Very
I'm
heavily.
actually okay without the C stick.
In Melee, it's my go-to on Sheik.
In Melee and in the new Wii U one, it's my go-to for smashes.
Because of the new controller, though, I actually got off that habit of using the C-stick. I need to get back.
I got worse into it because now I'm holding it like this, and the C-stick was much easier to use. But now that I'm back to this, I've actually found that I am better at transitioning between the two.
Yeah.
So the Pro Controller might have helped me get a little better with my controlling.
But
And I still play on both, actually.
so I think what we're trying to say with these last two segments is that, you know, older stuff isn't necessarily bad. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
But it needs to be updated still. You know what I mean? We still acknowledge that, you know, the Wii U needs to only produce games for the Wii U, because if they started things for the Wii, this would be stupid by now. And they need to bring some of the older support back, where it's stuff like this. They also need to produce more of those GameCube adapters, because those things are freaking priceless right now.
Yeah, they are.
I'm pretty sure I could break that thing in half, and it'd still sell for $300 on eBay.
Yeah, you probably could.
Because some guys like, I could solder that back together.
Yeah.
I got this.
Oh, yeah. So with that, I think we're going to go to our first break. We'll be back in a few. Thank you all.
Sometimes, yeah.